I'm just dealing with life. I didn't know what to do, so I sat down, took a deep breath, and I just knew that I needed to read God's Word. So I opened my Bible and looked at what was in front of me. Now, not to be dramatic or anything, but I soon came across a passage that quickly changed my life. Before I read you this passage, I would like to give you some information on 1 Peter. 1 Peter was written by the Apostle Peter. Peter mentions that his reason for writing is to encourage his readers who are facing persecution for their faith to stand firm. That suffering for the sake of righteousness should not surprise us. Believers should submit to unjust suffering the way that Christ did. This book of the Bible focuses especially on our being like Christ and our response to sufferings that we encounter. 1 Peter chapter 2, 13 through 25 covers submission to rulers and masters. Peter continues to give directions concerning how Christians should conduct themselves when dealing with the state, since many of his readers have faced problems with this in the past. His basic message is to submit to authority. Now, just to be clear, I am not in trouble with the state, nor do I often have trouble submitting to authority, but I am beyond impressed by the way Jesus modeled a life for us to live. Now, to read you this life-changing passage. 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 23 through 25 says, "When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. He himself bore his sins in his body on the tree, so that we might die to sins and live for righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed, for you were like sheep going astray, but now you have returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls." Now, I don't know about you, but when I am insulted, I would prefer to retaliate. And sometimes when people make me mad, I'll make threats. With both these situations, I may or may not say out loud just what I would like to, but thoughts are still running through my mind and I'm wasting my energy on anger. How awesome to see that our Savior did not waste his energy on anger. Rather, he entrusted himself to our great judge. He didn't take others' words to heart, something that really stood out to me. The next thing that got me was the reminder that Jesus bore my sins in his body as he hung on a tree. We hear this statement a lot, so often that I think we just forget how awesome Jesus' action was. I personally love being reminded the price that was paid so that I may live my sinful life, yet still be loved by the creator of the universe. By his wounds you have been healed. What a crazy, unbelievable, amazing concept. This passage ends saying, "For you were like sheep going astray, but now you have returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls." I'm sure we have all gone astray at one point or another. I know that I have. And what an incredible feeling to be taken back by the one perfect being. Overall, I love this passage because I believe it reminds me how to live my life. Like most, I often compare myself to others, and doing so can make my daily life really hard. Sometimes I'm just never good enough, my outfits aren't cute, my hair is a mess, or I didn't do as well on the test as the kid sitting next to me. I can make the list go on and on. I take others, as well as my own, critiques and insults personally. Seeing how Jesus entrusted himself to God was just what I needed, an awesome reminder that his thoughts are all that matter. I am continually amazed that the Son of God would sacrifice his life so that I may live my life and live eternally. When I was in the 8th grade, I was going through confirmation at a Lutheran church. One night at class, we were required to watch The Passion of the Christ. As a typical, dramatic, silly, young teenage girl, I did not want to watch it. I did not want to read subtitles, I did not want to see men wearing very little clothing, and I did not want to watch violence. At times I would put my head down or go to the bathroom so that I wouldn't have to see blood. As I've gotten older, I think back to the time when I watched The Passion. I now have different feelings. I get a knot in my stomach as I think about the pain that was portrayed on the screen. I am more mature now, but I still do not want to watch this movie. But now it is not because of the blood or the men wearing very little clothing. Now it is because I cannot bear to watch the most amazing man that I have ever known go through such agonizing pain, cry, and have vulgar insults directed at him. He suffered so that I, the girl that retaliates and sometimes makes threats when she's angry, can live and be loved eternally. I have been healed and forgiven through his wounds. Sometimes I just can't believe how lucky I am. I am beyond grateful for this grace. Also, God is my shepherd. This has been comforting to me in many ways. options to choose from, and I know this can be viewed as a good problem, but it's very stressful. I have been praying for God to place me where He needs me, and I do trust in His plan. But I'm not very patient, and I like to try and be in control. Reading this, I found peace. When I have what seems to be my daily freakout because I am not yet employed and I do not know where I will be living next year, I think back to this passage. God is the overseer of my soul. He's got my back. I felt that God placed it on my heart to share this message, as well as what I have learned from it, with you today. I hope that this passage sticks with you and that you feel God's amazing grace.